We're going to talk about that. Okay. So, hey, everybody, I'm Jackie Moran. I'm here with Barbara Corcoran. Okay, real estate maven, entrepreneur, star of Shark Tank, you name it. You just do like a few things.
Just a few things, but I enjoy it.
Just a few things to keep you busy. But you were actually just giving me a tip on how to master the boomerang.
Oh, of
so
course
I actually want everybody to hear that, because you know what? You can always take in those tips. So what was your trick?
A boomerang is the most fun thing to do if you do a count. So people, someone has to say, or you say it, you tell 1, 2, and then you go 1, 2, done.
Oh, I like it.
It's about rhythm.
It's about the rhythm.
Simple motions and 1, 2, done.
I like it. I'm getting tips already, everybody.
I'm a technology expert.
Yes, you are in many things. And entrepreneur you are, and I think you're such an example to so many people, of course women especially. But I love that you're here today talking about that, in fact, women entrepreneurs. I want to tell everybody something very exciting that you're a part of right now.
Yes, I am.
For women out there with sustain.com, right?
It's a wonderful program. Shall I take it from here? It's called Real Relief for Visionary Women. It's a phenomenal program that awards women $5,000 to help them either start their business or expand their business. And I can tell you, I started my business with a $1,000 loan that made me eventually a millionaire. But I couldn't have done it if I didn't have the $1,000. So what I love about the program with Sustain is they're putting the money behind the women they believe in, and they're also counseling them. And I get to pick the winner, the grand winner, and sit with them for 2 hours to make sure that whatever they're dreaming about becomes a real success.
I love that. So the winner, actually, you're choosing, right, November 19th, I believe, on Women's
Entrepreneurship Day.
Very cool.
Perfect day for it. But you have to get your application in this summer.
Okay, so through August 31st, right?
You got it, yes.
So guys, go to sustain.com, check it out. A grand prize winner will get advice straight from you, right?
Definitely. 2 hours of my time. They're going to become rich, I guarantee it.
In which even 15 minutes of your time would probably be amazing.
I
So
don't know
2
if I
hours
can do it that fast.
is going to be amazing. So what about you as a female entrepreneur specifically? I know my mom is one as well, and you know, a lot of the time she was in a room full of men, and obviously a lot is changing, but for you, even on Shark Tank, you're kind of outnumbered by the guys. Is there anything specific, advice-wise, about just how to speak up, how to speak your mind, anything you've encountered along the way?
Well, you've already touched on the better part of the answer, which is speaking up. And for women, that doesn't always come as naturally as it does for men. I would say speaking up is a warm-up, and on top of that, to think like a man. I've often been in a situation, almost always with all men, and I want to be a team player. I want to be gracious and polite, but what I've learned to do instead is remind myself to pretend I'm a man in a business situation. And when I do that, what do you think I do? I speak up, my hand goes up, I raise my volume, and more importantly than that, I start taking credit for stuff that I don't even deserve credit for. You know, the funny thing about women when they build a business or run a department or are a manager in a business situation is they are the type of people that want to include everyone, which just makes them powerful leaders. But they want to climb the mountain, get up to the top, set up the tents, decorate the walls, make sure everyone's comfortable, then take credit. Men are halfway up the mountain, they go, I'm the king of the mountain. And you know what? It's the way the world turns. And so I think the speaking up is something you teach yourself. I've had to learn it. I used to be a quiet, lovely girl. I'm not anymore.
Yes. Along the way, I've gotten a little bit louder myself. But, you know, everybody plays a role and everybody's important, right? And so now I think you've seen, a lot of shifts in the industry. How do you feel now? Like, do you think it feels like an even playing field? I mean, obviously with your success, it probably does. But how would you rate it kind of now?
It's not even now for me, honestly. If I'm in a room of very successful, equally successful men, I really have to prove myself a little bit still. Okay. But here's the best news of all. The great majority of businesses being started today are being started by women. And if women want to be equal in the corporate workspace, we haven't come so far, in my opinion, not on the top tiers. But if you want to be equal and control your life and be in charge of your own money and who you hire and where you're going to go and what color you're going to put on your walls, then you're going to become an entrepreneur. And the majority of the businesses opening up today are owned by women. So we will equalize that field, but it's not going to be in the corporate boardroom. It's going to be on our own terms, which is as entrepreneurs. So I think it couldn't be a better time to be a female if you're serious about business.
Oh, I love that. So inspiring, everybody. And, you know, your upbringing in itself is very inspiring. You were a child of how many? I think it was.
I have 9 siblings. 1 of 10. Yes.
1 of 10 in New Jersey, right?
Yes, Edgewater.
Okay. So a very modest upbringing, I would assume, and now you're so successful. Do you still feel, you know, a sense of your like roots and your upbringing in being so successful now? Does that play a role in how you kind of
You know, when you're 1 of 10
life?
kids, and my mother and father raised us in a 2-bedroom flat with 1 bathroom, so you can imagine how cramped that was.
Yeah.
But they were phenomenal role models as workers, and that was the gift of a lifetime. We were all phenomenal workers as adults. But it was a huge advantage to not have anything. I had no expectation, no monkeys on my back, no expectation of even going to college. It was a surprise. Why would you want to go to college? It was like, why? But what I had is I had freedom. You know, privileged kids today, I have privileged children. They have a lot of monkeys on their back. They got to come in and almost like feel obligated to equal what their parents did.
Right.
Terrible curse.
Yes.
They get fancy educations. They have theoretical analysis ability of how to do a business, but they haven't been in the streets groveling. There's no better learning place in the world than on the streets when you have nowhere to go, your back's up against the wall, you have to figure your way out of a problem. And when you're poor, you get that young. And then when you make your money, you get to make your own money and spend it, not spending your parents' money, and you get all that satisfaction.
Yes.
So I know, and everybody can do that.
Right.
But it's more difficult for a privileged child. I really believe so.
Yeah. Did you have any crazy jobs before you got into real estate? Like, what was your, like, what were your early jobs?
I had, I wouldn't say crazy jobs. I had jobs to help the family make ends meet since the time I was 11. My first job, I was a playground supervisor. I don't remember what the pay was, but in the summer, we worked every summer. I worked every day after school, as did all my 9 siblings. We all contributed. We were required to get a job, not to go to college, get a job, help out. We need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And as a result, I had 22 different menial jobs, but I can tell you it was better than a Harvard MBA. I learned how to work, how to navigate with people, how to sell on my feet, how to please the arrogant boss, how not to get in trouble, how to volunteer for the wrong hours. I learned all of that. So by the time I opened my business at 23, people thought I was so young to have women double my age working for me. But I wasn't young. I wasn't inside. I had been around many blocks since I was 11. What an advantage.
Amazing. And now, so you mentioned your children. Is it Tom and Katie, right?
Tom and Kate, yes.
Okay. Did they follow in your footsteps? Like, did you instill that in them? I know you mentioned their privilege, which is a beautiful thing in one way.
I say it like a terrible thing. It's wonderful to be able to give
Yes.
to your children what you'd like to give, of course.
Right.
But it's a dangerous game.
Yes.
Okay.
So did they follow in your entrepreneurial footsteps?
Well, you're asking a little too soon. My son, I had my first baby at 46, so Tommy is only, and don't do the math on me, Tommy is only 24 and Kate's only 13, so I have to give them a little breathing space.
Yes.
But I can tell you one thing, they're not spoiled kids. And I think you can't not give to kids if you have a life of privilege. I mean, they're around other kids with nice cars, nice homes, but what you can do for children that I think saves their soul is you can allow them to fail.
Yeah.
And that I did their whole life. They had dyslexia struggles, each of them, and I didn't save them. I let them hit, because as a result of that, I'm totally convinced that they will have a phenomenal backbone. My son already does, and Katie better, I'm going to come and kill her.
I can imagine she will with you as her
most
mom.
parents don't want their kids to fail. How do you learn? I'm sure if I asked you what your best lessons in life was, probably some little catastrophe, right? You learn the most.
I have a
why don't
lot
you
of
tell us what it
ideas,
is?
and I create ideas, and you know what? A lot of inventions, and I create them in my head, and I don't see anything through, and those are failures, right, in a way. But
You
also,
look like you bounce back pretty good.
yes, I like to bounce back. We all have to, right?
You don't have to, but you do.
But, and you, I know, I can feel the motivation already. Obviously, you're a motivational speaker on top of everything you do. Do you have like a go-to motto? Like, obviously bouncing back would be a good one. Do you have any like thing as a go-to motto that would be like an easy takeaway for
Now
people?
you're embarrassing me. I never have those go-to models. I even have a hard time coming up with the endings on my speech. But I'll tell you one thing. I do speak to the soul of the person sitting in that audience, because there's nothing that they could be feeling and being discouraged about and struggling with and giving up on that I haven't felt myself and been there. And I think the more I share that with someone, the more they see, oh, there is that rainbow right there. Keep going for it. And that's all I'm really hoping to do, to lend a little bit of support. With the Sustain Eye Drop campaign, the reason they were so useful to me is because I had a terrible blinking eye problem, and I just was always uncomfortable. It wasn't until I used the product that I knew that my problem was solved. And so as I'm talking to you, I'm not blinking like crazy, but that's only because I used the product before coming in here.
Oh, so that really is how it came up with, see? Look at that, it has to be genuine.
And you found my product and what's in your bag. And that's why they asked, would you mind speaking well for our products? I've been using your product for 2 years, no problem.
So it has to be genuine, right?
Oh, I think so. People are smarter than you think. They know the difference between sincerity and not sincerity.
Right. So now, do you have like a favorite, do you have a favorite investment you've ever made?
Of course.
Yes.
Well, I have my favorite investment where we're making the most money, which is The Comfy, which is a sweatshirt blanket that's so comfortable. You roll up and watch with the hoodie, you watch TV. And the reason it's my favorite is because I love being naked inside the Comfy. It feels so good and luxurious. But on top of that, they had nothing but a prototype. No sales, no prices, no what it would cost to make it. And I just love the guys and gave them $50,000. And now that $50,000 I've already been paid. Well, yesterday I got a check for $800,000. When does the next check come in? It's
I'll
like
be there
a money
for that
train.
one. Let's celebrate.
A money train. And so they have to be my favorite. But the truth is I like the Cousins Bay Lobster the best because they're so cute. They flirt with me and they're also making me money. Not as much.
I love it, but you get a lot of benefits out of that.
Absolutely.
Now, do you have anything you ever wish you invested in but didn't? A little bit of a remorse?
In the moment on Shark Tank, when you lose an investment because some other shark got it, I don't like it at all. But I have a wonderful ability to forget about it the minute those doors open and the next entrepreneur walks in. It's done. Right. Over.
Yeah. Okay, so we hear about those kinds of checks, which I'm still waiting to get that number in the mail, but hopefully
I'm not sending it to you, by the way.
Hopefully it'll come with the hard work one day, but I feel like this is self-professed, so I hope I'm not, but you're like kind of call yourself cheap, right?
I'm a little cheap,
A little cheap. We're all a little cheap. I think that's good. I shop cheap with my clothes, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
I shop expensive with my clothes, and I don't look any better than you.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but see, it can go a lot of ways. So is there anything you save on specifically that you would still insist on saving on in life, where you're at?
Yes, I save on a few things, okay? I take all the change in my purse and I put it in a jar. And then when it overflows, a big old jar, I have some kid count it out because I don't have the patience. I let him keep half the money. And so he walks away very often with $200, but I get $200 and I go right out and I buy myself something that instant.
Ooh, I like
what can you
that.
buy for $200? Not much, but you could get a massage and a facial.
Ooh, okay. I like the sound of that.
You could pig out and have 2 mojitos and a dinner, okay? And I get that satisfaction. So that's cheap, but I get a reward. And everything else, no, I don't value money at all. I've never valued money. My parents didn't, and I've never worked for money. And somehow, if you just do a phenomenal job at what you do, the money finds you. I truly believe so.
The passion. Yeah, follows the passion. I believe that.
No, follows the passion and the hard work. You need the hard work.
That too. Okay, so double passion plus hard work. I like it. So going back to Shark Tank, I know you've had some amazing guest judges as well. We have, so the next season is coming up in September, right?
Yes, it is. We already half filmed it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Anything you can give a little tease about?
I'm not going to give you any tease except that we have some darn good-looking guest sharks on our show, and they got to sit next to me. Yes. And so I'm happy.
Okay. And now you've had some good-looking people like A-Rod, for example.
A-Rod, the best.
Tell me about that.
Well, first of all, you have A-Rod, all 6 foot, what is it, 4 of them sitting next to you? It's really hard to concentrate.
I would have a hard time concentrating.
And all I'm thinking is, as every entrepreneur walks onto the set, I'm thinking, oh God, I hope I could invest with A-Rod on this one.
Yeah.
Nixon, I hope I could invest with A-Rod on this one.
Was J-Lo around at that point?
Oh my gosh. J-Lo was in the elevator with us the last day of shooting, and talk about celebrity intimidation. There were probably 12 people in an elevator.
Yeah.
A-Rod walks in. We had been filming with him already for 2 days. We're still impressed. And then J-Lo walks in. You didn't know what was happening, but you felt it. Ooh. The whole elevator got quiet. Powerful people got quiet. Shh. It was like suddenly you were in the church. The elevator went up. No one would dare move or say a word. And so I said to her, how's the relationship working out?
And what she said?
She said, fine. And she says, yes, we're doing well. And
love
everybody leaned in like one of those commercials. Show all these heads, lean in.
Right. Then you should have called us and given us the update.
Yeah. Intimidation. It's a remarkable thing.
So A-Rod was intimidating. Then you saw J-Lo, and she knocked him out the park.
Oh, he wasn't intimidating compared to her.
Right.
No. She's an intimidator. Woo.
Ooh. And she seems so nice at the same time, but she's so powerful. There's something about her that
I compliment her when I say she's intimidating. I don't mean in any regard that she's not nice in any way. What I mean by that is she has self-power.
Yes.
She created her own power in herself, and it's palatable even as without even seeing who's coming in the room, you feel something. Yeah,
feel
palatable power.
Ooh.
Pretty remarkable.
I love that.
I'm trying not to be jealous.
Well, we all have to be a little jealous of J-Lo.
She
She's
looks
J-Lo.
so good.
She looks so good.
And she's so smart. And she's so rich. What's wrong with it? Tell me, please.
We're going to have to find it somewhere.
I'm going digging.
We're going to dig. We'll dig a little bit, but I hope nothing because I love her so much.
Yeah, everyone does.
She's my J-Lo.
Rightfully.
So you can't really get better than that, but would you have a dream celeb shark?
Oh, of course. Come on. Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq!
Of course. I like a big man. If he came onto the set, I would just squeeze him, hug him, and kiss him all day long. How could you help yourself? I mean, we'd have to get 2 big chairs. We'd have to break the arm off and put the 2 chairs together. He would take that space, smile, and you'd feel life was okay. But I think I might maybe spend 3 times more money. I'd feel so happy. I'll buy it, I'll buy it, I'll buy it. But what a dream shark he would be.
Oh, Shaq, if you're listening, I met him in the airport once.
Oh.
So,
How
Shaq,
did you get close?
that person you met in the airport would like you to go on Shark Tank.
Absolutely.
Well, here's hoping. Fingers crossed for you. I'll try to see if I
I'm
can.
going to get him invited, actually. I'm so happy you asked. I hadn't even been thinking about that.
I love it. We're inspiring it right here. Now, I do want to ask you, you're doing so many things. You seem like the type of person that will never stop. Will you ever stop? Would you ever retire?
Let me ask you, if you, in your right mind, does anything that you love, why would you stop? Doesn't make sense.
Because
I
you're
think
happy.
retirement today is totally different. I think it's a word that's going out of style and out of motion, because people who love what they do get their energy and joy and satisfaction and curiosity settled by remaining active. And it's not just keeping yourself busy, it's making a difference. I have the great joy of feeling like I can touch people through Shark Tank, through my podcast, Business Unusual, through the Real Relief for Visionary Women program. Touch people and make a difference. I mean, what greater gift in life? All the people that are most happy in life are the people who give.
Yes.
The people who are least happy in life are the people who want to see how much they can get. I've seen it my whole life. Nothing ever changes there.
Yeah.
So please don't ask me, will I ever retire? From what?
Right. You feel like it's all a gift.
Oh my God, every day.
Yeah, and I do, just one last note, I do want to send our condolences. I know your brother passed away a few months ago.
You don't expect to lose a sibling.
Yeah, and how are you doing on that front?
Well, it's difficult to lose a sibling, but because there was so much notoriety associated with where he died and whether it was a suspicious death, that I had probably had maybe 10,000 people tell me I was sorry to lose my brother. So I'm over it faster than anybody because I've had to confront it like 20 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good to know that you're, you know, obviously fine.
You got a lot of
strength.
life in a short time.
Well, that's good.
One of those, yeah.
Well, I can see you're not stopping. You're going, going, going. And just to remind everybody, go to sustain.com, right?
Absolutely.
That is where you will get your chance to hear from Barbara herself. 2 hours for the grand prize winner. That's pretty amazing. You have
And
through August.
$5,000 grants for
Yes,
many of the
for
winners.
8 entrepreneurs, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think I'm right. So that is sustain.com, and be sure to check that out. And Barbara, I just have to thank you so much. Just sitting here with you right now inspired me.
Thank you
I think
very
I got
much.
about 20 minutes with Barbara.
I don't think you need a lot of inspiration.
Aw,
I
well,
think
thank
it's
you.
self-generated.
Thank you so much.
pleasure.
All right, bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Oh.